Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the the finale review of Ningen Fushin, Adventures I Think Humanity Will Save the World, and episode 12. And it was a bit of a wasn't no action at all, but it was just just them our characters talking things out. So which eventually they're going to go into on a new adventure though. But sadly, I don't think we're not going to get that though. But I mean, I would like to get a second season. I would do, but because because Olivia mentions about this this new this demon god, and so and also leading up to is this white mask guy we saw from the last episode. Is he behind it? So they're gonna set out a new adventure on that though, but the thing is though, I don't think we're gonna get a second season, sadly though. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it though, but the thing is though, I just like sometimes I like when they leave stuff, like that, it's like, oh, we feel like when we want to see what happens next, like on a cliffhanger. But yeah. But I still like the episode regardless, and plus the show as a whole, I really did enjoy it, and I've always I love the series, and ever since back in the first episode, I was like, okay, it's but then the series kept picked up and up. I was kind of liking it more to the point I really did enjoy the show. But as of as of this episode, just almost really like recapping, but like. It shows how our characters have grown ever since ever since they first met each other. How they just they stumble in the bar. They're just in the bar drunk until they met one another, and until they fully, because some of them have trust. Well, all of them have trust issues because how their lives turned out, right? And just the rest of and just how they just grown throughout this whole series, But and like how just and it focused on each one of the characters beforehand, and then like how with Nick, how we saw a flashback how when he was little that his parents were murdered, and the guy who eventually took him in to become an adventurer until when we saw in the first episode, eventually he just threw him out. And then we saw with now with Zem, he's in that the garbage alley, right? He owns I guess he took what Nel Galva. He has a little place where the clinic or whatever for healing and stuff like that. He runs that, and on our bond sword, that say, hey, if you would be around, I could be your power, like a bodyguard. And then with Tiana, she's out there gambling as usual, like it's kind of like the horse races, but it's not horse races, but it's kind of like those type of races where she won. And with Curran, god damn, man, I gotta stop. This is really it really annoys me. I'm just keep on just doing it in videos, just yawning. But anyway, then with Curran, and like how. She that's how she wanted to bring how well, actually, because there was this one before that, there was an incident where there was this little cat girl, and she was about to be scammed by that one merchant who tried to scam her with that locket, and she pointed out, hey, what happens if you try to scratch that thing again? So it was nice that he recapped that she was not gonna let this one girl to be fooled by this one guy who tricked her before, and she was thinking about Kalos, the guy who betrayed her and left and stole her dragon jewel that was from her clan, right? But she goes back, there was because when they're walking, they mentioned this as they're walking back together, Olivia comes running up, and giving up, breaking news, extra, and this flyer where there's this revival. She mentions about this demon god, and also wondering because first Nick thinks she's just making this stuff up, right? Just because she's a spreading lies and all that stuff though. But when she mentions about White Mask, maybe he might be involved. So they feel like since they're together because each one of them. Because like I said, each one of these individuals, they've been betrayed by people in their life, like just with Nick, with that girl of his who just scammed him, with Zem, the false accusations, and like with Curran being betrayed by her own party, the guy she liked, and with Tiana just well, actually she didn't get kicked out though, because the one guy who was like she was learning with let her leave, because well, but I don't think she was betrayed. But actually no, there was the one guy who dumped her. Yeah, that was right, the one guy who dumped her. So, but that's why they're survived. They had trust issues, but he built to trust each other, and that's why they're still alive, and that's what they're called. They're called the survivors. So they'll take on anything, and they want like Olivia to join them as well, because since she's a sword herself, like I said in the last video, she's a sword herself. So she's a sword of war, yeah. And they all agree to it, and that's when the fireworks started. And during the whole credits thing of this song, which is I thought was a good song as well. We see recap of all the side characters as well we've seen throughout the show, like with Leon still in jail, Claudine who's still in jail trying to break out, the one who scammed Nick, and like the one guy who was teaching Tiana before she left, including that girl, that little brat, who falsely accused them of doing that right, ruined his life. You see that girl, I feel like I want to kick that girl for a field goal for which she just ruined his life, And then we see like all the other ones, like the bombshell mom with her daughter. Then we see like back at the Wild West saloon with the woman who runs that saloon. Even we see the table that Olivia kicked in half and fell back. We see like it was kind of like trying to like staple together. That was hilarious. Then the ladies from the guild, you could say, and and like the one guy who's like the one adventurer guy that eats at these very places that Curran followed around. He goes in, and then she goes in, and then the one cat girl that saved her from being scammed by that one guy. And then ends with Olivia and Bondsword talking, saying, "Hey." And we included the narrator saying, "They think these guys will save the world? Not yet, though. But probably not for a while, though." Which is, yeah, because like I said, they're not going to be able to save the world right away, though. It may take a while for them to do so, but while doing so, as I mentioned, we saw a gay doing a concert with Nick there as well. I forgot to mention her with her supposed boyfriend that she broke up with over the gambling thing, But they're just gonna take time doing what they do with their lives, and but eventually they will get there. Especially this new journey to stop the Demon God and that guy White Mask, though. But I think it's the way these go. I don't think we're not gonna get a second season to see all that stuff, though. So, but part of me is like fine with it because because I think it's because. We won't be able to see much of them saving the world. They were going to do that throughout the series, though. But the other part of me is like, I would like to see a second season, but to see what they want to do with this new adventure, though. But part of me wants to see another second season, but a season 2. But the other half of me is just fine if it ends the way it is. But I'm more in favor of second season more than the other half than what I first said. Like, leave it the way it is. But I'm fine both sides. If they don't do no second season, that's fine. But regardless of that, I still had very fun with the show, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and after the characters, I always enjoyed best dragon girl Curran. I liked Nick. I enjoyed Tiana. Zem felt really bad for him, the most. But the other side characters were really good as well. So the good amount of humor. Like I like to mix how like the settings. Like it's mixed. Like we get like a Wild West setting, like a little modern time setting, like a modern casino we saw. Like modern day touches, right? Including like Wild West, including some fantasy stuff, and it was a good mixture of the settings, set pieces. Yeah, I know some people say the production of is not that kind of the best, but it didn't ruin it for me because I'm enjoying the characters and the story a whole lot. So I will let that slide though. But like I said before, I think the production is not that bad. The animation is not that bad. And like I said, each one of them got their Ningen Fushin together. That was cool to see. Each one has a cool design. And like how far these characters have grown since they first met each other, being drunk in a bar, and they formed this team together called the Survivors. Trust issues, but eventually do, basically they started to trust each other, right? Having fun together, good times. And I really did enjoy it. So Ningen Fushin, the episode 12, and like seeing all the side characters as well. They were great too. Like our idol girl, Agate, because earlier in this episode, she was talking to Nick again, wanted to return the one thing that she gave to him on that one rainy day when he was dumped. And each one had their good moments, So, yeah, I really did enjoy it. And it was a good series overall. Yeah, but eventually I'll give this a full-on review though later on down the road though. But this is about episode 12 though. But it was a good finale, Season 2, if possible, I'm all for it. If not, I'm okay with it just the way it is. But yeah, I definitely give this a thumbs up. Definitely. 10 out of 10, I would say. I always give my things 10 out of 10. But if I really did enjoy it, why would I lie to myself? By the way, that's Ningen Fushin. Adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. Good show, though. Really did enjoy it. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode review for Tomo-chan as a girl, and we'll see you next time. Later.